Today's edition is like an ice-cold shower for those who thought the war was somewhere far away. Closer, louder, more precise. While an oil depot is blazing in Penza and private houses are burning again in Voronezh after debris fell, flames are breaking out at the Taman terminal in the Krasnodar region. It looks like someone has finally begun responding in kind, and is doing so with growing confidence. Then there is more. Ukrainian forces are smashing radar stations in Crimea, while in Belgorod, Russian bombs are increasingly falling on Belgorod itself. An accident? A coincidence? Or already a statistic? And finally, the million-dollar question. If Russia's air defense is the best in the world, then why, on the morning of the 23rd of January, is there so much smoke and fire over the great territory? Let's begin. The night of the 23rd of January, Penza. 4 o'clock in the morning. Fire engulfs an oil depot. The governor of the Penza region writes on his channel that this was a drone attack. Then come the videos filmed on the phones of local residents. Fire sirens, columns of smoke, and surprised, almost bewildered comments from witnesses. Come on, that's a tower. And over there, farther away, it's smoking too. A familiar picture, isn't it? Only last time we saw all this from the side of Mykolaiv or Odesa. This time, from the other side. And while officials report that everything is under control and the fire has been localized, one thing is clear. Controlling the situation is becoming increasingly difficult, especially when it is not one or two, but an entire swarm of those very same kind birds flying in. And if before Russia itself chose when and where to strike, now the blows are landing where it is weak, and they are landing more and more often. Next comes Voronezh. It is loud there again. This time, according to Russian officials, 2 unmanned aerial vehicles were shot down in the sky over one of the districts of the region. It would seem the air defense crews did their job, but here is the result. A private house is burning. Again, an already familiar ending to every such story. And what was actually attacked? A fertilizer plant. Again, what exactly was damaged has not yet been disclosed, but judging by experience, that means the strike hit its mark. In the official reports, the focus is not on the targets, but on the debris. Not on explosions at strategic facilities, but on the roof of a village house catching fire. It is easier to explain it that way. Supposedly, everything is fine. The enemy did not achieve its goal. But behind that everything is fine, industry is smoking again, and again, without comments. Next, the Krasnodar region, the settlement of Volna, the Taman terminal. The Ukrainian General Staff published footage of the strikes and stated that the facility was actively used to supply the Russian armed forces. The hits were precise. A fire broke out. It is clear they were not striking at random, but at the very reservoirs from which loading onto vessels is carried out. And here is what matters. This terminal had already been hit before, approximately a month ago. Back then, it ended with a minor scare. 2 piers, 2 vessels, scratched but survivable. The facilities were repaired and shipments were resumed. But this time, not scratches. The strike hit fuel loading systems, the restoration of which takes weeks and sometimes months. The reservoirs burn out, oil goes into the fire, port personnel fall into panic. Now they know what it is like to work under the cross Odesa, like in Yuzhny, like in Pivdeny. This is no longer just an attack. This is a mirror response. Direct, loud, and very precisely targeted. While oil depots are burning, radars are going silent in Crimea. Ukrainian forces strike the Protivnik radar station, 2 Nebo stations, and at the same time destroy a drone storage warehouse in Kherson region. All of this is a deliberate clearing of the eyes and ears of the air defense system. Without them, blindness. And where there is blindness, there is a gap for the next strike. But on the other side, reports, statements, self-satisfied quotations. What was Vladimir Putin saying there? The air defense systems of the Russian Federation are among the most reliable in the world. We launch, he says, 3 times more missiles than the United States of America. Production, supposedly, is comparable to the global level. Everything works, everything is stable, everything except the facts. Because while these victorious words are sounding, missiles are flying into Penza, drones are striking Crimea, fire is engulfing strategic hubs. Maybe it is worth not counting missiles, but counting holes. And now Belgorod. Here it has long become a habit. If something exploded, it means air defense worked. If something caught fire, debris. But what happened on Gubkina Street looks strange even by Belgorod standards. Russian sappers are removing an unknown munition. What it was? Silence. Not a single word from official sources. Only footage of a crater that speaks for itself. Judging by the size, this is not something accidental. This is at least a high-explosive aerial bomb with a mass of 1,000 kilograms, and possibly all 5,000. And it, which is especially symbolic, did not even explode. It simply arrived, simply fell, simply reminded how Russian aviation works, without precision, without a system, without guarantees. But that is not all. On the 5th of January, another drop. The bomb fell in Shebekinsky district, in the area of the village of Batratskaya Dacha. The same picture, no explosion, no target, but with a threat. The locals were once again left without explanations and without answers. Instead of fireworks, silence. Instead of an official reaction, silence. Only repetition. And here it is worth stopping. Last year, in just the Belgorod region alone, Russia lost, think about it, 143 aerial bombs. 143. This is not a mistake. This is a system. Or if you prefer, it's absence. Because once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. But 143 is already statistics, a production process. Russia continues to repeat, to shoot down, to lose, to pose a threat to its own territory. What do we have as of the morning of the 23rd of January? Burning Penza, a blazing Taman terminal, damaged factories, strikes on radar stations, Ukrainian drones, more often, more accurately, Russian aviation, more and more against its own. Statements about the best air defense, louder and louder, and reality, clearer and clearer. The mirror has been brought right up close. Now it cannot be brushed aside.